Welcome to the All In for Africa, number 7. I'm broadcast by Next Level Poker. We're here at Running Aces Casino Racetrack, beautiful harness racing track here in Columbus, Minnesota. And I'm actually here with, rather than my usual commentary partner and business partner Brian Soja, who's at the final table, I'm here with Steve Fredlin, who runs All In for Africa, makes all this happen, runs the best charity tournaments I've ever seen. Welcome to the broadcast, and welcome to the broadcast, Steve.
Well, thanks, Fox. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Unfortunately, I couldn't be playing, but yeah, man, it's great to be at the final table here.
It's usually you doing the broadcast and interviewing me.
It is, yeah. It's kind
of. Steve does the Rec Poker podcast every week, which is absolutely the best podcast in poker, and I don't say that just because I'm on it every week. Really good stuff. You can follow them at Rec Poker on Twitter, or find them in it's runaces/Rec Poker.
Yeah, runaces.com/Rec Poker. Yeah, I'm starting to wonder how much I'm paying you here with all of this, these kind words.
Wait till you get my bill. We've got action, and I may be moving the Twitch broadcast around a little bit. You'll see component parts in the broadcast move around a little bit. This is the first time we've done it with this setup, so we may change some things around. We've also got information on our players, and I'll put that information up. When we get down to 6 players, I'm going to put everybody's name in front of them. I might start working on that now, but it doesn't look like we have enough screen space to do that with the way the cameras are set up at this point. We've done that in the past and really liked it. So,
yeah, pretty stacked final table here. I mean, obviously you got your buddy out there, Brian Soja, who's making a nice deep run.
We know most of these guys. Vic Pepe is in C1. I know Vic pretty well. I like Vic because he's got a fox. And he flies Falcons. He's an interesting guy and a good player. Rob Meyer looks familiar to me, but I don't know him.
Yeah, I played with Rob quite a bit during Hollow Stream and some other things too. Super tough player, at least from a recreational side, yeah.
And Vic Pepe is at Vic_PEPPE. And you got Rob Meyer is at Chasen_Chips.
Jason Chips. Gus Hansen.
Gus Hansen.
Yeah, he's kind of. You know Gus at all, or it's not the Gus Hansen?
Right, different Gus Hansen.
But he's a regular on the weekly tournaments. He's
I've
a very solid player.
Before. I recognize him, but I don't know him well. And then seat 4 is Crystal Kemp, who I've played with a number of times, and she owns the Straight Flush Poker Tour.
Yeah, and they've been incredibly generous to the All In for Africa. Tournaments in the past. They donate a number of seats, and fantastic gal.
Nice. Then number 5. And you'll see these from left to right on your screen. So in about the middle of your screen, just to the right of the middle, is Brian Soja. He's at MN Pats Fan Poker. He's a big Patriots fan, but he's now from Minnesota. And Brian is my business partner here with Next Level Poker. He would usually be doing the broadcast with me. Every once in a while he gets lucky and makes a final table. And that happened today. So.
And then you have to downgrade your announcing partner.
That's right.
So hopefully Brian will buzz soon, so you guys can improve the broadcast a little bit.
I wouldn't say it's a downgrade. You know what you're doing behind the microphone.
Well, thanks.
Brian gets lost a lot. Then we have at seat 7 Chris Bellflower, who used to own the Straight Flush Poker Tour. Did he start the Straight Flush Poker Tour?
I understand that he did. Yeah, no, he used to own it, so we kind of got a Straight Flush connection here.
Yeah. He's at Bellflower, BELFLOWERGRP on Twitter.
So if there's ever been a plug for free poker, this is it. You got two of the guys heavily involved.
Guys.
Yeah.
Rocky Wiley, he's at Rocky Wiley. That's him in the blue Kicker Power hat there. We've got 2 Next Level Poker Tour hats and then a Kicker Power hat. And I actually am wearing a sweatshirt that Kicker Power made for me most of the day today. That's Jay Phillips' company.
Yep.
And then our last player, Michael Engelhoff.
Mike Engelhoff, yeah.
He can really play.
Yeah, he's actually part of my home league.
Is he?
And Doug Graybeck was as well, who busted in 10th place. So we had a couple nice finishes for our home league. And yeah, Mike's a tough player. He actually was a previous All In for Africa champion.
Oh, nice.
He won All In for Africa 5.
Wow.
So first guy looking to go back to back. Or not back to back, but to get 2 titles.
And so this is the 7th one.
Yeah.
And 2 records set this time.
Yeah, this is a big day for us for sure. Yeah, we got 151 unique entries, which is a record, topping our 140, and we raised over $18,000. So just a fantastic day.
Take over for a minute for me.
All right. Yeah, so thanks to everybody who supported us in the past, who came out today. I know a number of people are watching the live stream now that busted out earlier, so you had about the same fortune that I had. Now you get to watch it on TV. Looks like I should have been following the action a little bit here, but it looks like we've got Vic maybe opened here, either opened or reflatted. I don't know, Jordan, you look like you were following the action a little bit closer. What did you see? Oh, maybe just Vic. Well, we don't know. I'm trying to get used to the technology as well here, and we lost our pilot. So, it's like Crystal actually took that down. So I don't know if Vic was in the pot. I don't know if Crystal raised from the small blind. Maybe she shoved there over Vic's raise, but Crystal stacking chips.
Yeah, in the future, hopefully we'll have someone announcing action, but it's a little loud in here today.
It is a little loud, yeah.
Action at Running Aces.
Well, I always like the announcing, so I'm like, I watch some of the other live streams, and I always like to hear kind of what's going on, what's the take of the people behind the mic. So I'm hoping Fox can give some insights and give away like all of his secrets here today. That's my goal with the stream. So I'm hoping to ask enough questions where Fox will give away all of his secrets.
Run good, that's the secret.
That's the secret. Yeah, clearly that's what it is. I'm sure that's all it is.
I play lucky.
Yeah.
We are very interested in hearing from you on Twitch. Our players are... We're not trying to work cards so that our players can interact with you on Twitch if they want to. We can interact with you on Twitch because this is in real time. When you do hole cards, you got to delay it at least 15 minutes. We don't want to do that. We have real time so we can talk to people who are watching. So if you have questions about the stream, if you have comments about the stream, ways we can make the stream better, we want to hear about it because this is the first time we've done this way. There are definitely going to be a bunch of improvements before the next time we do it. But if you have thoughts or questions about the stream, we'd love to hear it. And you'll see things change as I move things around.
Well, let me just take a second too to say thanks for being here and covering the All for Africa tournament. You guys have been so generous, and we're just excited to be partnered with Next Level. And man, this is pretty cool technology. You play a charity tournament, for $120. You can win bounties worth up to like $600-700. You can win $4,000 for one thing, and you can be on TV. So what a pretty good deal. So what do we got here? Do we got is it Crystal and Brian sort of heads up here? Or who's in the pot? Oh, Crystal and Chris. And Crystal was on the button, and Chris from the big blind must have defended.
Mm-hmm. He will do that.
And I'm not sure what the action was, if it was just called around or if it was actually raised pre-flop.
I'm sure it was raised. The blinds are only 12.24, and there's a lot of money
in the pot. Yeah.
There's more than 100,000 in that pot for sure.
It's like Crystal sort of got some intentions here.
Crystal's taking a shot at it. Looks like she bets about 50,000.
What does Chris have there? He's got about 200K, maybe? He have one stack of orange there?
Yeah,
200K?
Yeah, he has about 200,000.
Looks like he's going to make the call here.
So he's a little over 200,000. So he calls a flop bet. He calls a turn bet. I wonder if he's on a big draw, or if he's slow playing something, or if he doesn't believe her. Those are really his only options.
Oh, I know that's kind of a spicy river card.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Might go check here. Well,
no,
so what do you think? She's pretty polarized here? I mean, she's got to have it, right?
I think she's got to have it. But how good is it? Is she going to keep betting
a 9
kings here? I don't know how experienced she is as a player.
Yeah, you just check down kings here, right? On that board. Or what do you think? Are you going for value on the king there?
I don't know. If he checks to you and you think he's just got a hand like ace-8 or something,
right?
You could bet aces here again. Seems
pretty thin to me. I don't know, but I'm not very good at attracting value, so I bet she had a big hand there.
I think so too.
I might be like
especially the small bet on the river there. That's pretty scary.
Yeah.
You probably want to fold like a 9-7 there.
And I don't know if she would bet a heart draw on the turn there. That's the thing. So that's what makes me think she maybe had like a 10-9 type of hand already.
And it's hard to comment on players' play when you don't know how they play very well.
Right.
I've been on the other side of that. I've had people try to analyze my play on television, and I know that they have no idea what I'm doing or why I'm doing it. So I know how that could be. The key is to err on the side of caution and be gentle with people, because you don't know what they're doing or why they're doing it. Right. They may have a really good reason for it. I've never been savaged on television, so I'm not too. but I wouldn't want to savage somebody when I don't know what they're doing.
Well, if any of you listen to the Rec Poker podcast, I try to be as humble as I can. Like I know there's a lot of mistakes I make, but I think I learn from you try to analyze things, and you try to get feedback from people. So I think that's a good way to try to learn is put yourself in their situation, try to guess what's happening. But more often than not, I'm going to be wrong. So it looks like Gus is involved here. I don't know if he limped. I'm guessing he probably came in for a raise, but I'm not.
And then Bellflower, it might have been a limp.
It might have just been a limp.
Called.
because Rocky's in there as well.
too? Yeah, I think that was a limp and a complete and a check.
Yeah.
That's an interesting board. I think
So do
if
you continuation bet this?
I think, well, it's not a continuation if you didn't raise in the first place.
Well, fair enough. Yeah.
You know, I'd never limp in this,
Matt Pete,
in this
Yeah,
117.
the question is really if I'm in Chris Bellflower's spot, do I bet out if I'm in a small blind? Because Rocky has no reason to hit this.
Right.
And the other guy, if he doesn't have, if Gus doesn't have something, he's got to fold. For sure, once Bellflower checks to you, I think Rocky Wiley's got to bet this.
Okay.
When you have the late position limper, he sometimes he'll have a bad ace, but sometimes he's got a pair of fours and wants to see a flop.
Right. Yeah.
You know,
Or
so-
some
and you
suited
can bet-
connectors or something.
With
yeah.
this kind of polarized board, you can bet a pair of fours, or you could bet nothing, and you could bet like a third of the pot, and people will still fold unless they have it. You know?
Okay, yep.
Whereas if you if the pre-flop raiser and somebody who defends their big blind, and you bet a third of the pot, sometimes they're not going to believe you. But if you lead out for a third of the pot on that board, they're going to fold a lot more often. Whereas if it's like a 6, 8, 9 board and you lead out for a third of the pot, they're going to have a pair or a draw or two overcards or something to call you. They're not going to be as scared by the board.
Right.
On that big cards board, you can steal that pot a lot more easily.
Out of the blinds, you're saying? Or are you saying even in Gus?
Anybody,
Any first one
Yeah.
to fire off is going to win that
The more
pot.
the board is scary, the less
Right.
you need to bet to take it down.
Yeah. Especially at this stage in the tournament, I would think.
Yep. These people didn't get here by just constantly calling down.
And here comes Rob, and this is what I would expect. Rob's not afraid to put chips in, and I think he's a tough player. You said you had experience with him as well, and
Yeah, I've played him a little bit. And I think the competition in general at running aces in Minnesota in tournaments is much tougher than a lot of other places in the rest of the country. So I expect these players to be stronger than you would typically see in a charity tournament. This isn't your average $50 charity tournament where there's like 30 guys that have never played before and 4 people that have played a little bit. There's some, there was.
the table that we played at, I thought was pretty stacked from considering tournaments that I normally play.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess there was $3 million in Hendon Mob winnings in the field.
Yeah.
I looked around and that was my best guess. Maybe it was between 2 and 3 million for sure.
Well, at one point, I know I had you and Mike Schneider and Michael Iverson.
Yeah.
A number of tough players at the table there.
Yeah, that was between me and Shides, you got 2 million.
Right.
Hendon
Yeah, you got
winnings
two-
there, so I guess maybe it's 4
Probably
million in
over
the
that,
field.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, we got an all-in in the call here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Wasn't
And
is that Soja's?
Rob had the big stack, and Soja has Queen Jack.
Is it Soja?
No, it might be Mike Engelhoff. I can't see his
Oh,
chips.
okay. Must
Well,
be.
we should-
I see the reaction there.
We should pay a little attention here.
Yeah, it was Mike.
Mike's gone.
Well, so did he have Mike at the tens there? Because Queen Jack hit a Jack.
Yeah, he must have.
Mike must. So I think Rob maybe opened and Mike got it in out of the big blind there with tens.
Ace 10. Ace 10, Queen Jack. Okay.
Yes, Mike actually had ace 10 there up against Queen Jack and the Jack spiked there.
That's tournament poker.
But a good run for
And
Mike.
then, is that us on break? It looks like it is. So we got things kind of figured out in the broadcast now. We'll be back and try to stick with the action a little more and give you a real broadcast when we get back. And we're on break. We are back. Blinds are now 15:30. Change that.
And we're down to 7 players with Mike Engelhoff leaving an 8th.
Did he get any bounties?
I believe Mike did. I'm not sure what he got, but I think he collected something. He didn't bust me, so
Dan,
I'm
could
sort
you
of a
swipe
rare.
in, please? Could you
I know
swipe in,
that-
please?
You didn't even bust me today, even though I was
right.
I was
I
being
tried.
liberal with my busting.
I tried. The last one of these I played might have been 5. I think I might have missed one between. It was the last one at Running Aces.
Yeah.
I either min cashed or bubbled, but I made $2,800 in bounties.
Did you really?
Yeah, it was amazing. I got your 500.
Yeah,
but
it'd
like
be
total
100.
value of all the bounties I got was $2,800,
Yeah.
and the bounty, and I either didn't make the money or I min cashed for like $200 or something.
It's pretty sweet.
The
Yeah.
bounties are where it's at in this tournament. The
They
bounties
really
more
are.
than the prize pool, way more.
They really are. I mean,
The
they're
bounty
fun.
on me was like $300 or $400 worth.
Yeah.
And that was, everybody, our whole next level poker team had $300 or $400 worth of bounties.
Yep.
There were over 50 people had bounties on.
57 people at bounties, and yeah, well over
57
$10,000 of bounties. You know,
Wow.
everything from small cash to big cash, like $200 cash.
So it's basically a rake-free tournament.
Could I have your attention, please? Tom
You gave
S.
away,
Your 200 seat.
about the amount in bounties
Sounds
that
good.
came back in bounties.
Yeah, we've had overlays in the past. This one
Yeah.
actually wasn't quite an overlay, but for a charity tournament when you can raise $18,000 for the Against Malaria
Could I have your
Foundation
attention, please? We do have
and
immediate
almost bring
seating
full
for
value
200
to
hold
the
them in
players,
poker
that's
room.
a pretty good combination.
Again,
I think.
immediate seating for 200 hold them in the poker room. If interested, please see the poker board.
And do you know the numbers on how many lives it saves per X amount of dollars on Against
I
Malaria?
should have that in front of me. I think it ends up being
Like
about
good business.
$3 a net or something like that. So I mean, you start talking about however many
6,000 malaria
6,000
nets.
6,000 nets, and I forget the numbers, but it's I think it's if I remember right. Don't quote me, but 7 or 8 people typically are using the net.
Wow.
So now you start talking about 42,000 people that are using the net.
Yeah, for like 40 cents a person or something.
Right. Yeah, it's really cheap. And these are, the nets that they're using are the nice. They have the the chemical that they use to help really repel the mosquitoes. And
Yeah.
I've been to Rwanda. I've met with people with malaria. It's not a pretty thing.
And
until-
there's just starting. I just read about some strains that are resistant to the current malaria drugs. Like the only way to really be sure that you're going to keep this thing away is have the nets.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing when we live here in the U.S. when you kind of take things for granted. When you go over there and you're sleeping under a net,
Yeah.
it's a very sort of a surreal feeling to think I need to be sleeping and have this net around me to prevent myself from potentially
really
getting a
sick.
disease.
Yeah.
And that's it's a really a wake up call.
Well, and we could end up that way here as West Nile moves through the country
Right.
and Zika moves through the country. And I've been to Central America where I've had to sleep under nets. And
Okay.
you do feel different after you've seen that and realized that
The impact.
Jerry, you're going to have
It looks
another
like we had
player coming in.
I don't know if Rocky shoved, but Rocky opened pretty big and took down the blinds nanny. So
Yeah.
nice pickup there.
which is 50,000.
7 times 35, 50, 80,000.
80,000.
80,000 in orbit here. So, you start thinking, I got 300,000 chips. Like, well, you don't have a lot of time.
Yeah. Every 80,000 you can add. This is the time to make money.
And there's about 3.5 million chips in play.
Looks like another shove.
Is that Mr. Soja getting it in there?
I can't tell if
Or is that Chris?
that's
Oh, Chris has
Bellflower.
cards. Yeah,
Chris
Chris
Bellflower.
Bellflower's shipping it here. Rob on the button looks like he's
Just
considering
thinking about
it.
it.
And then Gus and Crystal behind.
And they did chip up. Looks like Rob called.
Yeah, he must have called because he got folds out.
They did chip up, so they're light green chips on top of their pair of queens and an ace-7.
7. So the Rob has the queens here, right? Based on where the dealers no. Yeah, Rob's got the queen there, and so he picks up Chris had a bounty on him as well.
I wonder what it was. Do you remember?
I'm trying to remember what he had. I think it was cash and maybe a gift card, but at least cash. I'll grab that sheet.
Hey, you heard me say I'm not going to do that girl.
are down to 6. So something I definitely noticed is that we had a great camera shot set up until we had a dealer. I'm noticing that the dealer
blocks a little bit of the
blocks
edges.
some of the edges. It's very hard to do anything about it.
Do you want me to move Rocky over a little bit?
You can ask the dealer to sit back, but when they're reaching forward to pull in the antes, they're not going to be able to do that.
I could have Rocky move over a little bit. The other side's a
I was
little
actually going to have the other side, somebody from the other side move over.
I'll do that.
So have Crystal move around the camera and have Brian move over.
I'll do that,
I think we'd get a better shot.
Chris Wellflower had $100 that were in Running Aces Lammers that was donated by Running Aces, so that was his bounty.
Nice.
Yeah.
Running Aces donated a bunch of stuff and
They did.
hosted the tournament and everything. It's a great thing. I
Great
loved it.
support. Yeah, great support. Yeah, they donated $500
Dan,
in
you're gonna have a
Lammers.
player coming in.
That was
Split
fantastic.
across five players. Yeah, one of those players too. You talk about big bounties. One of the players that got drawn to have the $100 Lammers on him was Drew Lee, who's a local DJ. But he also had an iHeartMedia prize pack, two Vikings tickets, and 2 Wild tickets on him.
Oh wow!
They got $500 or $600 prize
That
pack
is a
there.
lot.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it.
Let's see, here we have a raise from Rob.
Well, you're still in the same position.
Not a lot of big action in this spot. Rocky checks, Rob checks. Ace 3. Who's going to win this pot? Ace high with a pair of 8s on the board.
Hey, I somehow ended up with your bounty. I think you owe me $100. Hey, Rob, if there's any way you can move a little bit that way, that's don't get crowded. Yeah, you're good. You're good. I don't think so. I think you owe me $100.
So as we look at now, we're down to 6. I'm curious with you, Fox. Like, sort of, where do you start thinking about ICM implications? I mean, obviously there's the bubble, which min caches. We're not playing for min cache, but there's some implications there. And then there's this.
There's a little bit of ICM effect as soon as you're close to the bubble, and then it goes down a little bit once you break the bubble in a bigger field.
Because usually, every 9
everybody's
spots
getting
get
paid
extra
the same amount for a while. Yeah.
Well, like here, like say,
But it still
looking at this
exists.
prize.
But now, in a tournament of this size, there's kind of ICM effect. You paid 15 spots. There's ICM from about 20 on. That is significant to your decision making. But it's so top heavy in a small field like this that it's not as big a difference as it would be in a bigger field.
Right. So we got another all in on the call here. So Ace Jack.
Looks like
Unless they held up against something.
So did double through Vic.
Okay.
Get him, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, I want to keep talking, so you just keep winning.
ICM.
I mean, obviously these aren't huge dollars, so it's different than $1 million tournament. But assuming that you were looking at this payout structure, I mean, you're in 7th or 8th position. Are you starting to think ICM really, or are you really just? I'm kind of going after the top 3 spots.
It depends on how steep the remaining payout structure is.
Yeah.
So, anytime you're talking about ICM, you're looking at how steep is the remaining payout structure, not what's been paid off,
Yep.
not what's left. And right now, the next couple spots are really small jumps,
Right.
and the big jumps are way at the top. So this is closer to a winner-take-all structure.